the last topic that we do for lesson 1, which is the earth moving material, is we want to find out the weight volume relationship of the soil, and that basically we review what you did in Geotech 1. So soil weight volume relationship, weight and this topic I consider the most challenge for today lesson 1. So this phase diagram it should be familiar with you. For soils you can have solid part, and then you have water and air, and we have the volume associated with the solid, like we have Vs, water Vw, air Va on the left, and the total volume called V. And then in terms of the weight of these three components, we have solid Ws, water Ww, and the air Wa. It's very small, the weight very small compared. They have a significant volume, but very small in terms of the weight, so we can assume that equal to 0. And the void volume, it basically combine the volume of water and air, and that we call is here the total volume here. So Va plus Vw, that we have V void, if you recall that in your Geotech 1. So let's review some equation from there, from this relationship. So the first equation that we want to deal with is the water content. Water content in percent, and sometimes we talking about that at the moisture content. In percent, and that equal to W. So how can we have? So it W water content, W lowercase, equal to the weight of the whole soil minus the weight of the solid part. So basically that is water, the weight of water, because what air, water, Wa equals 0. Divide by the total weight of the solid, Ws. So basically the ratio between the weight of water over the weight of the solid part. So it will be the weight of the water divided by the weight of the solid. And of course you can put in percent to determine the percent. And we also have other equations that I just list out here, just to review what you learned in Geotech 1 before we move forward. The next one is the unit weight. How we determine the unit weight of a soil. Unit weight stands for gamma, and it equal to, of course, weight, unit weight total W by this phase diagram, divided by the total volume of the soil. Total volume of the soil. And what if we dry all of the water? Then we can have the dry unit weight. So it only the solid part will be matter, and in that case we call it gamma D, stand for dry, D for dry, equal to the weight of the solid part, because when we evaporate the water, go out, no more weight of the water, divided by the volume of the soil, that is dry unit weight. And we also have equation about the void ratio. And all of this, like I say, you have learned that in Geotech 1. I just want to review those equations so that we can apply in the problem and earth moving materials for this class. So the void ratio is E. So basically it measures in terms of the volume of the void. So it's VV E equal to volume of the void, and in this case it equal to the volume of air plus volume of water, VW plus VA, over the volume of the solid VS. Or you can see that, let's see there, it's VA plus VW water over VS. Porosity, that is the next concept that you already learned, and I just want to review for the first lesson here. You recall what is the symbol? It's N, right? So in that case, what is the equation? N equal to also VV, but instead of measure with regard to the volume of the solid, is the volume of the whole soil, which is including air and water. So VV over V. And then we also have specific gravity, the next concept. If you want to go to detail again, you may go back to the phase diagram lesson in GeoTech 2 so that we can review more on this instead of I repeat the same lesson that you learned from Dr. K. So you have here specific gravity. How we determine? It will be at G equal to the weight of the solid over the volume of the solid, and then we divide by it. So that basically the unit weight of the solid part of the soil, weight over volume, over the unit weight of the water, unit weight of the water. And of course, we can go ahead to write out some other equation that we just talking about. V equal to VV plus VS solid, or equal to VA plus V water, volume of water, plus volume of solid. And we have the weight of the solid. If we know the water content and we know the total weight, we can apply this equation. W equal to WS W water, or W equal to the whole weight minus the solid weight over solid weight. So we can find out the weight of the solid part of the soil. It equal to W, which is the total weight, divided by 1 plus the water content, moisture content or water content. And the final equation that you may keep in mind, and all of that equation you don't have to be memorized. You can have that in the exam, midterm exam reference. But we need to know how to manipulate this equation to get the answer. So that will be the drive. So if you give you the unit weight, give you the water content, we'll be able to find out the dry unit weight and vice versa. So those are the important equations that you learn in the GeoTech 1 about the soil weight volume relationship. And in the next video, we will apply that in problem 4. And like I say, this is the most challenge for the first lesson.